Excel 2007 comes with lots of features that are new. From increased row and column limits to enhanced graphics, this version of Excel holds features that the others don't hold. So this brings up the question, what happens if you try to save an Excel 2007 worksheet to the previous versions of Excel, for example, Excel 2000, 2002, or 2003? Well, the developers at Microsoft already thought of these questions, and they answered them with the concept called compatibility mode. When you open an Excel file created in 2003 or a prior version, Excel will enter compatibility mode, meaning Excel will revert back to the limits of the previous versions of Excel. Just to give you an example, I'm going to open up an Excel file that was created in Excel 2003. And you can also find this file in the Lesson 7 folder under the project files. I'm just going to double click this to open it. And you'll notice here it says previous version.xls, which is what I've named my file, and it says here compatibility mode. So because this was an XLS file created in an Excel 2003 version of Excel, Excel 2007 automatically enters compatibility mode. Now if you remember at the beginning of the series, we mentioned that Excel 2007 had new row and column limits. The new row limit in Excel 2007 is a little over 1 million rows. The new column limit is over 16,000 columns. If I scroll down all the way to the bottom of the spreadsheet, which I can do by pressing Control-End, E-N-D, and then pressing Shift-Control down arrow, you'll see here that the bottom of my spreadsheet is at 65,536 lines. Well, this is Excel 2007. Where's the 1 million rows? Where's the 1 million rows that Microsoft promised us? Well, we're in compatibility mode. Compatibility mode says Excel 2007 will revert back to all of the limits of the prior versions of Excel. And this doesn't just go for the row limits in Excel, it goes for any limits that have changed in 2007. Pivot table limits, any chart limits, any formatting limits, any column limits. So in effect, opening an older file of Excel in Excel 2007 in compatibility mode protects you from doing any work in your old files that you may lose after you save. In other words, if you have an Excel 2003 file and you open it in Excel 2007, you won't be able to take any action that you can't save back to Excel 2003. So what happens if you start with an Excel 2007 file? Well, let's go back to our file here. I'll press Alt-Tab to do that. So I have a whole bunch of functionality here that's Excel 2007 related. Well, if I click Office, Save As, I can save this workbook to an Excel 97 to 2003 XLS file. And when I choose to actually save the file, it gives me this compatibility checker. Now the compatibility checker checks just that, the compatibility of the file that you're working with prior versions of Excel. With this particular dialog box here, you'll get a report that basically tells you which features of this current workbook won't be saved to your older version of Excel. In the case of this particular workbook, Excel is telling us that we're going to have either lost or degraded functionality when we save as a previous version. And as you can see, you have a summary here. We have a significant loss of functionality, and that's due to the fact that we have conditional formatting here that wasn't in the previous version. So for example, these icon sets, these are going to be lost when we save to a previous version. You won't see these in Excel 2003. Then you have a minor loss of fidelity that basically says there's some styles and some workbook formatting that won't be brought over. But that's okay. In general, if you have minor loss of fidelity, that typically means it's okay. If you have a significant loss of functionality, you're going to want to take a second look. Also, if you click on Help within the compatibility checker, you'll get a help file that lists all the possible issues that you may have with compatibility and kind of defines what they are and what their solutions might be. So I'll close out this file, and I'll open this file again, the XLS file, in Excel 2003. Let's see what happened. As you can see, the file is pretty much the same. We've lost some conditional formatting, which Excel told us that we were going to lose that. And some of the formatting doesn't look as nice as it did in Excel 2007, but it's pretty much the same file. Let's go back to Excel 2007 now. In this lesson, we took a look at some of the things to consider when planning to distribute our worksheets. From adding headers to considering compatibility, these are important tasks that will ensure that our spreadsheets are delivered the way we expect them to be.